All right, today we're talking about a threat that's actually way more common than fires or break-ins, but most of us don't really get it until it's way too late. We're diving into water damage, and I promise, by the end of this, you'll have a solid plan to protect your biggest investment, your home.
So let me ask you this. What's the one thing that can silently creep into your house and cause billions, with a B, in damages every single year? No, it's not termites, it's not wind damage, it's not even fire.
Yep, just water. It could be a tiny little drip hiding behind a wall, or it could be a full-on flood. Either way, it is the #1 enemy of a healthy home. It is absolutely relentless, and as you're about to see, it works scary fast.
Okay, so let's get into it. You have to understand that not all homes are created equal when it comes to water risk. There are certain things about your environment and even your house itself that can basically roll out the welcome mat for damage.
Now, here's what's so important about this. Yeah, our source material focuses on one city, but these risk factors, they apply literally everywhere. Think about it. Do you live anywhere near the coast or a river? Is your soil heavy clay that just holds water against your foundation? Is your house a bit older? Any of those things puts you at a higher risk. Then you throw in high humidity or heavy rain and, well, you've got a perfect storm for disaster.
So here's the absolute most crucial thing to get. The second that water gets in, you are in a race against the clock. Seriously, this is not something you can just add to next week's to-do list. Every single minute counts.
And check out this timeline. It is terrifying. Within minutes, water is just soaking into everything. Your carpets, your drywall, the subfloor underneath. Within a few hours, your home literally starts to change shape. Wood swells up, drywall starts to sag, but the real danger zone, that kicks in at the 24-hour mark. That's the moment a water problem starts turning into a major health problem. So burn these numbers into your brain. 24 to 48 hours. That is your critical window. Because after that point, all those little mold spores that are just floating around in the air all the time, they find that moisture, they find a new home, and they start to multiply like crazy. And that, well, that's the point of no return for any kind of DIY cleanup. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. Of course, you can take a shop vac to a wet carpet, but what about the water that's soaked deep into the wood subfloor, or the moisture that's wicked halfway up the inside of your drywall? You can't reach that stuff. That hidden moisture is a breeding ground, and just pointing a fan at it can actually make things worse by spreading the spores around.
Okay, enough doom and gloom. Let's talk solutions, because there is a proven scientific playbook for fighting back against water damage, and it's the exact same one that every certified pro follows. It really boils down to these 3 steps. First, you got to get the standing water out, and fast, using these huge, powerful extractors. Second, and this is the magic right here, is the structural drying. This is where the pros bring in all this specialized equipment to literally pull the trapped moisture out of the walls and floors. And finally, of course, they clean, sanitize everything, and get your home back to the way it was.
So, you might hear this term, IICRC certified. What on earth does that mean? Well, it means the people working on your home aren't just winging it. They've been trained and tested on the global standard for this stuff. It means they're following a scientific process that actually works. And this is the part I find totally fascinating. They're not just drawing your house. They're using science. It's called psychrometrics. Basically, they manipulate the air in the room, the temperature, the humidity, to create an environment where the wet materials are literally forced to let go of their moisture. The water comes out of the wood, out of the drywall, back into the air where industrial dehumidifiers can grab it. It's so much more advanced than just, blowing a fan on a wet spot. Now, here's something a lot of homeowners don't realize. A huge part of the professional response is figuring out what kind of water they're dealing with. Because, believe me, not all water is created equal. You absolutely need to understand this chart. You've got category 1. That's clean water, say from a burst pipe. The main risk is just the water itself. Then there's category 2, gray water. Think washing machine overflows. It's got soaps and other stuff in it. But the really bad one is category 3, black water. We're talking sewage backups, floodwater from a river. This stuff is grossly contaminated and poses a serious health risk. It has to be handled completely differently.
Okay, so we've gone through the risks, the timeline, the science, but what do you do? This is the most important part. Let's give you a clear, actionable plan for that horrible moment you first discover water in your house. This is your emergency checklist. Memorize it.
First things first, safety. If you can do it safely, stop the source of the water and then turn off the electricity to that area. Step 2, rescue. Move your furniture, your photos, anything valuable out of harm's way. Then you become a detective. Get your phone out and document everything, photos, videos, for your insurance company. After that, you make 2 phone calls. The first is to your insurance agent to get the claim started. The second, and do not wait on this, is to a certified restoration company to get them on their way.
So I'll leave you with this thought. We all have smoke detectors, right? Most of us have a fire extinguisher. We even teach our kids a fire escape plan. But when you look at the actual statistics, you are far more likely to have a major water damage event than a major fire. So the real question is, now that you know how fast it all happens and the kind of damage it can do, does your home have a plan for water?